You've also recently been studying up on Russia's situation and whether
Back-to-back segments.
Yeah, back
Flexing a little.
segments. Do you think what are Russia's chances of being in the Olympics? Both some of these individual guys that have struggled to get into events in the past, and kind of just the country as a whole.
Yeah. So the deal with Russia at the Olympics is a little complicated, but I think it's pretty much settled right now what could happen and what should happen. Putting a probability on what will actually happen is a little tougher because who knows when everything is ultimately decided by Vladimir Putin. But for if they go or not. But right now they can go. Individual athletes can go. Russia qualified all 6 men's freestyle and then 5 in women's and Greco. They're all cleared to go. They're all eligible and they all qualified through the qualification process. They have to go as neutral athletes, which not a big deal for the bracket. They just compete in a different looking singlet and there's no flag anthem when they win. But otherwise everything's the same. The two big wrinkles are Sadulayev was ruled ineligible because to compete as a neutral athlete, there's some steps, but the key one is you can't actively support Russia's invasion of Ukraine or the war in general. And there's evidence of Sadulayev doing that. Whether it's fair or not that keeps him out, totally different thing. That those were the rules. They put him out there. Everybody knows him, and he fell afoul of them. So he was ruled ineligible in April for the European qualifier. He could still be ruled eligible again. A situation like that happened in Taekwondo, World Taekwondo, which is the UWW for Taekwondo, ruled 2 guys ineligible for their support of the war. And then 3 months later, they said, well, they served a 3-month suspension and now they're eligible again. And these were guys that won gold medals in 2020 or in Tokyo. Now they're eligible.
Because they weren't actively supporting it. Right?
Right.
That's like the key word. Yeah, active.
Is a way you could say that, okay, they're still following the letter of the law. Whether you believe it's the spirit, again, that's a whole, or your opinion, whether it's fair, totally not neither here nor there for this discussion.
Right.
So Sadulayev could get ruled eligible again, but then it's more of a hunch, but Russia it started a whole new event called the World Friendship Games, which are going to be held in September in Russia, and they're going to invite mostly ex-Soviet, former Soviet countries, and that's going to be basically like a substitute for the Olympics. And it's why would you go through the trouble of doing all that if you were planning on making a big show?
So you think they might go, hey, you can't beat us if we don't show up.
Right.
You can't ban us if we boycott.
It's not good for propaganda because the way other sports, so every sport does it differently. Wrestling has been, I don't want to say like pro-Russia, but they've been the most, more Russians and Belarusians, because they're in the same boat, have qualified for wrestling than in any other sport by like a large margin. Like half of all, there's only going to be like 50 total individual neutral athletes from Russia at the Olympics like possible, and at least 16 of them will be in wrestling, and they'll probably be closer to like 35 or 40. And that's because other sports, track and field for instance, banned Russia completely. There's no way to go as an individual athlete. Part of that was for the doping scandal in 2014. They never said they were satisfactorily rehab themselves from that. Swimming, they allowed them to do individual neutral athletes, but no one applied, whether they got pressure to or whether they just didn't think it was worth it. Gymnastics, these are the big number count of athletes sports.
Right.
There are going to be no Russians there. So Russia would normally send 300 to 400 athletes and win, 20 gold medals.
It's not a good look if you can go to the Olympics and you bring home 2 golds.
That individual neutral
you got
athlete,
the same number of medals as insert X country, the Philippines.
Yeah, no,
or
not
whatever.
on the Philippines, but
yeah,
they had a good showing at U23s thanks to their coaching.
Yes, they did. That's right.
But yeah, it's that's kind of the hunch that I have is like I'm gonna take my ball and go home because this is gonna be good propaganda. We're gonna look like a weak country when we can go to the World Friendship Games, which we made up, and win everything.
Oh, you guys didn't invite me to your party? Well, I'm gonna throw one that's way sicker.
Exactly.
So much more fun.
And all that, and then there's some comments you gotta like use Google Translate, so I don't know how trustworthy they are. But guys like Mamishvili, other people in the Russian sports world are saying. The Olympics are a joke. The way they're treating us, it's Russia-phobic. They're whining about how they're being treated, and so it sounds like they're going to do that move of you're only inviting. This is the only way we can go to your party. Well, then we're going to go do something even more fun. And I agree with everyone that says we should keep politics out of sports. The biggest problem with that is the Olympics is this very political organization. They invite countries. They don't invite athletes. It's based on nations. So to say we got to keep politics out of it, you kind of already lost that battle when you called it the Olympics.
Yeah.
Olympics literally means politics.
Well, the International Olympic Committee is set up through national federations, and the only way you can become a member of the Olympic movement is to have a national federation.
I was just talking about the root word of Olympics.
Oh,
Literally Greek meaning politics.
is it?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
I was making a joke.
So, yes, Russia should be at the Olympics. It's up to them whether they actually go or not. And Sadulayev is not ruled eligible, but I think he will eventually be ruled eligible.
I think they'll be there. They want to be there. They can have a fake games. They can shut that thing down tomorrow.
That's true.
It's like not that real.
Isn't that one like that you can? There's no PED testing.
Correct. It's outside.
They're gonna set crazy records.
No WADA, no IOC
USADA.
jurisdiction. The other thing is to be an individual neutral athlete, you do have to get tested by WADA, and WADA is staying on that deal. So if you're worried that, well, they're cheaters and they do steroids or PEDs, they're under the same testing regime now. It used to be RUSADA, so you had the wolf guarding the hen house. You had Russian anti-doping agency helping Russians cheat
was
rather than
Icarus,
stopping them.
yeah.
That was Icarus, the movie that you can watch on
Yeah. I mean, every year or every Olympics since I started working at Flow, Russia's not going to be in, not going to be in. They're always in. They're in every time. They modify it, but they want to be there so badly. They're going to be there. And
And the wrestlers
feel-
do, but if old Mr. Putin doesn't want you to be there, that's where it's
I
different.
don't think it'll happen. I mean, I think he'll want him to.
What whatever happened to the stuff with the mayor of Paris, like gonna reject visas or what? Wasn't there something?
Well, the
like
mayor
that?
can't. So that's all local politics.
Okay.
I mean, that's the mayor just
Grandstanding.
exactly.
Gotcha.
Being anti-Russian.
And is France still saying they might reject their visas?
It's possible. So there's I just heard that Masumi did not get a visa for the Hungary ranking series.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
No Masumi at
That
ranking
stinks.
series.
That's not
Yeah.
good.
That just happened like 20 minutes.
What'd he do?
Well, the other Iranians are apparently going, so I think it might just be like he didn't fill out the forms right or something.
Okay.
But visas are a thing. Albania didn't allow any Iranians at the last time at the U23s. Before that, Spain, when they hosted U23s, made it real difficult for India and some other countries to get in because when you and I were there, JD, in 2022, two Sri Lankans made the medal matches, and then instead of showing up for the medal matches, they said, I live in Europe now, bye. I'm skipping out on our visas. So some of these countries are wary, even if it's a sporting event and the Olympics are supposed to be different. France could, it's up to the State Department of France.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Andrew.